I spent years helping women fake the DNA test until I tested my own family.
The morning sun in Enugu always came quietly. It first touched the tall mango trees along Independence Layout. Then it slowly warmed the red roofs of the houses. Soon the city woke up. Cars honked. Okada riders shouted for passengers. Women opened their small roadside shops. But inside a quiet white building near the city center, something else woke up too. Secrets. Big secrets. The building had shining glass doors and a big blue sign that read. Inside that building worked a young woman named Tina Okeke. Tina was 24 years old. She was calm, smart, careful, and she carried more secrets than the city itself. Every morning she arrived early. She wore her white lab coat. She tied her hair neatly. She checked the machines one by one. The centrifuge, the test tubes, the DNA analyzer. Everything had to be perfect. Because the people who came to that lab were not just looking for science. They were looking for truth. And sometimes, truth is dangerous. The envelope. Tina held a brown envelope in her hand. She looked at it and smiled a little. "You see this envelope?" she whispered to herself. "Yes, this envelope." She tapped it gently. "I'm about to save someone's marriage with it." She laughed softly. "I cannot even count how many times I've done this." The envelope contained a DNA result. But the result inside was not real. Tina walked to her desk and sat down. She opened her drawer. Inside were many files. Some were real. Some were not. She closed the drawer slowly. "You see," she said quietly, "I'm a lab technician. I work in one of the most respected DNA laboratories in this city." She leaned back in her chair. "But for years, I have been helping women fake DNA results." Her voice was calm, like someone talking about normal things. "Some women come with money." She rubbed her fingers together. "Big money." "Some women come with tears." Her face changed. "They cry. They beg. They say." She lowered her voice. "Please help me. If my husband sees the real result, my family will break." Tina sighed. "I never ask questions." She shook her head slowly. "Who am I to judge?" Outside the window, Enugu traffic was already growing louder. But inside the lab, the air felt heavy. Sometimes, Tina felt guilty. Sometimes she did not. She told herself the same thing again and again. "I'm helping people. I'm saving families. I'm protecting children." She stood up and looked at her reflection in the glass window. "Knowledge can destroy homes," she whispered. "Sometimes it is better not to know." Her family. If there was one family Tina believed in, it was her own. Her father was a pastor. Not just any pastor. He was the leader of a large modern Pentecostal church in Enugu called City of Living Fire Ministry. Every Sunday thousands of people came to hear him preach. His name was Pastor Daniel Okeke. Tall, strong voice, kind eyes. People loved him. But no one loved him more than his wife, Tina's mother. Her name was Grace Okeke. Grace was gentle, calm, always smiling. To Tina, her parents were perfect. They had been married for 23 years. And their love only seemed to grow stronger. Sometimes it even made Tina uncomfortable. Her father would hold her mother's hand in public. He would laugh with her. He would say sweet things to her. "Grace," he would say, "you are still the first woman my heart ever loved." Tina would roll her eyes. "Daddy, please, we are here." But secretly, she loved it. Because real love looked like that. Her parents had 3 children. Tina was the first. Then came her 2 younger brothers. Chinedu, quiet, smart, always reading. Emeka, loud, funny, protective of his sister. Growing up, Tina believed their family was unbreakable. Her father always told the same story. How he met her mother when they were young. How she was his first love. How he prayed to God for her. And how she said yes. Tina had heard the story 100 times. And every time, Her mother would smile shyly. Sometimes Tina wondered, will someone ever love me like that? The idea. 1 week ago, something small happened. Something that seemed harmless. Tina was working late at the lab. Everyone else had gone home. The machines hummed softly. She was finishing a test report when a thought entered her mind. A strange thought. She looked at the DNA machine. Then she laughed. I keep running tests for everyone in this city. She stretched her arms. Let me test my own family for fun. It felt like a joke. Just curiosity. Nothing serious. She had easy access to the equipment. And she had samples from home. Hair from her father's comb. A strand of her own hair. Simple. She placed the samples carefully. The machine started working. The computer screen showed numbers. Lines. Sequences. Tina waited. She checked her phone. She drank water. Then the machine beeped. Result ready. Tina walked to the screen. She expected to see one simple result. Paternity match. 99.9%. But instead, she saw something else. Her smile disappeared. She blinked. Maybe she read it wrong. She leaned closer. The words were clear. No match. Tina frowned. What? She clicked again. Same result. No match. She laughed nervously. This machine must be tired. She ran the test again. Carefully. Slowly. The machine beeped again. Result ready. Tina stared at the screen. The result did not change. No match. Her heart began to beat faster. No. She shook her head. This is wrong. Maybe the sample was bad. Maybe she made a mistake. Maybe the machine had a problem. Yes, that must be it. She stood up quickly. I'll test my brothers. The second test. Tina found samples from her brothers' hair. She had taken them before for small health tests. She placed them in the machine. One test with her father and Chinedu. Another test with her father and Emeka. The machine hummed again. Tina walked around the lab. Her stomach felt strange. Relax, she told herself. Everything will be normal. The machine beeped. First result ready. Tina walked slowly to the screen. Her hands felt cold. She read the words. And her heart stopped. No match. She stared. Her chest felt tight. No. She opened the second result. Her hands were shaking now. The screen displayed the final answer. No match. Silence filled the laboratory. 3 tests. 3 results. All the same. Her father was not the biological father of any of them. Tina stepped back slowly. Her legs felt weak. This is impossible. Her mind raced. Her father loved her mother more than anything. Her mother worshipped her father. Their marriage was perfect. Perfect. So how could this happen? Her thoughts became darker. One terrible question entered her mind. If my father is not our father, then whose children are we? Tina grabbed the edge of the table. Her breathing became heavy. And suddenly another thought struck her. A frightening one. Someone close to the family. Someone who had always been around. Someone her father trusted. Someone her mother knew well. Her eyes widened. No. She whispered. That can't be true. But deep inside, a terrible possibility had already begun to grow. The envelope. Tina looked again at the brown envelope on her desk. The fake DNA result she prepared for another woman. Suddenly it felt heavier. Much heavier. For years she had been hiding the truth for strangers. But now, the truth had entered her own home. Her perfect family. Her loving parents. Her pastor father. Her gentle mother. Everything suddenly felt like a lie. Tina slowly placed the envelope on the table. And whispered one sentence. If this truth comes out, my father's world will collapse. Outside the lab, the sun had already begun to set over Enugu. But inside Tina's life, a storm had just begun. And the most frightening part was this. Someone very close to the family might be the real father. But Tina did not know something even more dangerous. Someone else in the lab had already seen the test results, and that person had just taken a photo of the screen. Next in part 2, the secret leaves the laboratory and begins moving toward Tina's family.